What's good, YouTube? Mr. Milkshakes here, bringing you a Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. And let's just jump right in. So I'm using my full UU team, and this person brought some OU, some UU, and some, I believe, Jellicent's NU. But anyway, let's just jump right into it. So looking at his team, I was certain that he was going to lead with the Ferrothorn, get up some Stealth Rocks. I figured, if not, I'll just lead with my Hydreigon. And Hydreigon was packing Flamethrower, so I was just going to go for that, because it would kill instantly, one-hit kill. Well, this person predicts that, switches out, and goes into his Clefable. So I go do for a Flamethrower. I'm thinking it's going to be special defense. I'm like, holy shit, that did a lot of damage. And it's because I got a crit. And I was thinking, well, I do have U-turn, but I don't want to U-turn out because it would do less damage to him, and I'd take Life Orb damage. So I just hard switched out, and I switched into Aggron. Or Aaron. Key and Peele is funny as shit if you don't get that reference. They go for a Wish. And I'm thinking, well, they can have Protect, so I'm just going to set up my Stealth Rocks. They can get their Wish back, because I know an Iron Head is going to do some terrible fucking damage to this thing. But he hard switches out, so I'm like, alright, free rocks anyway, let's get him up. Goes into Ferrothorn. I was just thinking, well, I got the Mega Aggron, the Mega Aaron. Which actually helps, because I'm glad I brought Mega Aggron instead of regular Aggron, and you'll see why later. Set up those Stealth Rocks, and it's going to be a hazard for that fucking Talonflame, that son of a bitch. I'm like, well, I can't really do anything to him, so I'm going to switch out in my Hydreigon. Because, I mean, what can he do? He sets up his own Stealth Rocks, kind of saw that coming because he didn't get to set them up earlier. And now I'm thinking, is he going to stay in, or switch out? I went for the safe Flamethrower anyway. So I know it's going to do damage to anything that comes in, barring the Talonflame. But I'm Life Orb, not Choice, so we're good. I'm thinking, well, that's a 2-hit KO now. So he's probably just going to sack it off. And sorry for the quality of this video. I don't have a capture card for my 3DS, so I'm using my iPad, which is really fucking lame. But I haven't been uploading for a while because school. It's been rough, but I figured might as well pump out a video. And I actually do have more Wi-Fi battles coming up soon. So, Hydreigon kills the Clefable with Flamethrower, and I'm thinking, alright, he wouldn't send in this Nidoking if it wasn't choiced. Even if it's physical or special, I'm not staying in to find out what it's going to do to me. And I'm thinking, my Milotic can take pretty much anything, since it's fully specially defensive instead of physical defensive like they normally are. And I'm thinking, Ice Beam, going to eat that up. It's going to be yum yum yummy. Oh, fuck, that did some delicious damage right there. I'm thinking, might as well get that all back with leftovers. I'm like, well, he's not going to want to stay in, so who's he going to go out into? He has a Jellicent. Those normally either have Water Absorb or Curse Body, and I'm thinking, well, it's going to have Water Absorb, so I just get a free switch in. So I was like, that's hard switch out, and I'm going to bring in Hydreigon, because I knew that that wasn't staying in. And I'm thinking, well, who can he go out to? I could go for the Dark Pulse to do mad damage, because I'm pretty sure this thing doesn't have Ice Beam, and he withdraws. I actually think I went for the Dark Pulse. And he brings out his Nidoking, thinking, well, I'll eat up whatever this thing wants to throw. That's not the case. I think maybe he just didn't have anything that wanted to take a hit. So I go for a Dark Pulse. Get a decent amount of damage on that Nidoking, what I could say. I'm losing HP, though, which isn't good. That Life Orb plus Stealth Rock damage when I come in isn't going to be good. So I bring out the Milotic, and I was thinking, even if he does go for Thunderbolt, I can take it. So he does go for Thunderbolt, and that did a lot more than I thought it would, to be honest. But with leftovers, that Thunderbolt is a roll to kill. I'm feeling lucky today. So he goes for Thunderbolt, and Milotic eats it up. So I get the nice recover off, and now this next Thunderbolt won't kill. A Scald from me will kill, though. He doesn't want to stay in for that. Even with leftovers, Milotic's just a threat wherever you bring it. It's so bulky. It's one of my favorite mons. So he switches out his Nidoking, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to go for the Scald because of that Jellicent. So I went for Ice Beam just because damage is damage. That Ferrothorn comes in, so I'm like, Ice Beam, it'll do some neutral damage. I don't think it's going to do too much, though. Yeah, it really doesn't do much. I don't get the freeze. I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to stay in because I know he's going to go for a Leech Seed. So I'm thinking, might as well just bring in Hydreigon, let it get as much hits off as it can, and then it'll eventually die. So with Stealth Rocks, and he does go for Leech Seed, so now Hydreigon's basically, going to die. I'll let him get back whatever health he wants. But I know he's not going to stay in. But I don't know that yet. Skip the turn. He goes for protect. I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm not going to live after this leech seed. That's, like, fuck you. So I get leech seeded. I'm like, alright, that was a waste. But I live because I have no thought process on how much leech seed actually does. So he's not going to stay in, though. And he makes a questionable play here. He goes into Talonflame, thinking that I might go for Flamethrower. I went for the Save Dark Pulse. He's taking 50% from rocks. That fucked up Talonflame. And then that Dark Pulse is going to take Talonflame out. So that's a huge threat out of the way right there. When that Talonflame dropped, and I'm still alive with 3 HP, so I can get another hit off. But now I can't because he brings in the Lopunny. And this Lopunny is a fucking asshole. Like, I swear to fucking God, it's a fucking asshole. If he comes down on 82nd Street, I'll take my Louisville Slugger and I'll break its fucking kneecaps. Yeah, I'm from Boston. Not really, I'm not. But, I know I was dying. I was like, whatever. Triforce was dead to me when the Ferrothorn came back in. So I'm thinking, well, what can I do? And I'm thinking, Crobat's fast as shit. It's max speed. Little did I know that he's 6 points higher than me on speed. But luckily I had that defensive investment, so I'm going to defog the rocks away, because the rocks are actually more of a hindrance on my side than they are on his. And I kind of question this play, because the rocks on his side play a big role in the outcome of this battle. So I'm like, you know what, I don't want Mr. Wayne to die yet. Batman's parents already died, let's not let him die either. So I bring in my Lodic, thinking Ice Punch, but he goes for Fire Punch, which I mean, shouldn't do much anyway. And that still does way more because he got a fucking critical hit. And I'm like, well, that's stupid. So I'm thinking, well, I could still eat up any hit that this thing can send my way. But I'm wrong. My Milotic goes down. That was a questionable play on my part. It was a good battle either way. I mean, we only had like 1 or 2 questionable plays. So I'm thinking, well, Aaron, not Aggron, he's Aaron, has that filter, so he won't want to touch me. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave because I want to slow that thing down. He brings in the Ferrothorn, and I'm like, well, maybe I get a paralysis hack. It's still slow as shit. It really doesn't matter. I still can't do anything to this Ferrothorn. So I bring back Ferrothorn, and I send in Arcanine. Aren't I funny? I think I'm funny. Get that Intimidate off. I mean, what's it really going to do? He sets up his Stealth Rocks, which, I mean, that was kind of questionable because I could have went Flare Blitz right there and completely fucked that up. Well, what am I even saying? No, no, I couldn't. I died. He went for a what? I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's been a long day at school. I knew he was gonna switch, so I went for the Will-O-Wisp, which was kind of risky. I mean, I didn't think that the Lopunny was coming back in, but if I could have burned that thing, that would have been amazing. But residual damage is residual damage. Cancel out that leftovers, and I'm like, well, I don't really want to take a Scald, so RK9, come on back. And I'm like, might as well sack off Mr. Wings. I don't see him doing much. Yeah, I was, let's see, who do I have left? I have Aaron, Arcanine, Honchkrow. And I was thinking, ooh, Honchkrow sounds really nice right now, because I've been wanting to get Honchkrow in on this Jellicent, where I won't take as much damage, but just from rocks. So I'm thinking, I have Pursuit. I can Pursuit trap this Jellicent. And I was thinking, does he think I'm going to have Pursuit? So I go for Sucker Punch. Luckily, he doesn't think that I have Pursuit. I go for Pursuit. That Jellicent is gone. I get a Moxie Boost too, which is actually really, really crucial to this next play. So I get my Moxie up. I take some Life Orb damage, but in the end, that Jellicent was gone. And that's very, very nice on my part. So this Ferrothorn, I'm like, what should I do? Might as well just go for a Brave Bird, get the Brave Bird off, see how much damage it is. And holy fucking shit, I killed it. I did not think that that was going to die. Honchkrow's a fucking beast. I take Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet. I knew he had Rocky Helmet because he didn't have leftovers. And I'm like, holy shit, I could sweep. Forgot that I used Brave Bird and took a shit ton of recoil right there. Plus I would have had Life Orb, so I would have died anyway. So I'm like, who should I send out? I sent out Arcanine. Just because either of his attackers coming out, I could have switched into Aaron, but I was hoping he sent out Lopunny so I can get that Intimidate drop off, which is very, very crucial to the end of this battle. So I'm like, okay, Arcanine, I don't want you taking any damage. I need you. And I know Aaron has that filter ability, so nothing that this thing can do can touch me. So he goes for a high jump kick, and I'm like, just don't be a 2-hit KO. Don't be a 2-hit KO, and it's not a 2-hit KO. So I'm like, go for it again. I dare you. So he does. No crit, no crit, no crit. And I'm like, I want to slow this thing down, if anything, just in case I get critted. And this is where the scumbag in me comes out, because I have Iron Head, so I'm going to play the hacks. I go for Iron Head, and I forget I am terrible with resistances, but I thought that fighting resisted steel, but it doesn't. And that did a bunch of fucking damage, and I get the flinch. I mean, that's like a 75% chance that you won't move if you're paralyzed and go for a flinching move. So, I mean, the odds kind of were in my favor. He sends out this Nidoking, and I'm like, well, he is scarfed. I know that. He's going for the Earth Power. And I almost thought that that wouldn't have killed, but he got a crit. I'm pretty sure it would have killed anyway. I could run calcs and figure it out, but I'm pretty sure that I was dead anyway. So I'm like, alright, Arcanine, can you clutch this? You have extreme speed. This thing has barely any health back. You got some decent attacks. I don't think I have any attack investment, though. So I'm like, this is the moment of truth. E-speed. And I barely missed taking it on. It's got like 1 HP. I was so upset, and I die, and I faint, and lose the battle. But I was thinking, that was a phenomenal battle. I was all the way to the last play, the last Pokemon, and it was just, if I had that 4 points of attack investment, or if I had left up Stealth Rocks, then I would have won. But he had some major OU threats. That Mega Lopunny was scary as shit. Luckily, that Talonflame didn't do anything. That Pharaoh is a bitch to deal with. The Clefable kind of didn't do anything either, but other than that, it was a good battle for a UU team. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be uploading some more Wi-Fi battles soon. I know I have a really close OU battle that should be going up, maybe even today, tomorrow, soon, because I'm trying to get into more of the uploading schedule so I can make my YouTube channel more popular. I've been talking to people about designing things for the channel, but yeah, I figured might as well throw up a video. I haven't thrown up a video in quite some time. So yeah, if you could like the video, subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. But other than that, thank you for watching.